Alright guys, here's another update. Finally got my front end parts all put back together. There she is with the hood on it. Got my fenders and stuff lined up. Hang on a second. Alright, so I had a couple people ask me about my hood pins and stuff. When you get your Mustang, it comes with these little rubber stops that come in here. I took mine out and I put my hood pins directly into where these little indents are. I got one on this side as well. You can adjust them in and out, but they fit right here on the hood. These little indents, I don't know if, yeah, you can see that. So I drilled a hole there, put some white out on the top of these so when you close the hood it marks where you need to drill. And then here's the plate on top. So when you close your hood, there we go. And there you go. Mine, you gotta push down on the hood just a little bit, but that's perfectly fine with me. Driving wise, these hood pins are fantastic. They don't move around or make any noise or any of that bullshit, so really works out pretty well. I just have the little clips that came with it. I ended up getting my hood pin kit from AutoZone. The pins themselves are actually longer than some of the kits like you buy from American Muscle or whatever. So yeah, that's what I did. When you're drilling this stuff out, you can actually hit this with like a rubber mallet or something and adjust it whichever way it needs to go to fit into here. So I actually drilled these out on the inside. You can see the little mark here where that rubber stop used to sit at, but it works out really well. I got these in here a little bit bigger just so I give myself enough room while I was fitting everything. And the rubber or the metal backing plate up here actually hides most of the hole that I drilled out from up top, so I'm not too worried about it, but it works out pretty well. So there's my I'm having issues with my cooling system and stuff. I actually need to start this up for today. I'm having issues getting my coolant system bled out, but got the cold air intake on, all my body panels are on, got everything up top fixed, battery, everything. We drove it yesterday for, I don't know, maybe 10, I think it's 10.5 miles, maybe 9 miles, because I had a little bit on here from before, but all the green film that was in here, I took them off. See? So there's no more green film. There we go. I didn't mess with any of the things, the film down on these parts. And this one here had a green film over the mileage, but the LEDs themselves are green, so there we go. But this here does still have the, yeah, you can see it a little bit. It still has the green film on it. I haven't messed with that one yet, but got some fresh gas in it yesterday. There you go. 10.7 miles since putting the engine in and actually getting it running. So, gray door panels. I left, or the black door panels, I left the handles gray. Kind of adds a little contrast inside. But Mustang seats. These seats were a little bit wore when I got them, but they're really not all that bad. I got to get some leather conditioner and get these cleaned up. 5-speed. I can't get the radio to work either, so I got to figure that one out. I don't know if you can see it there, but my speedometer is actually sitting at 10 miles an hour right now, but it's not moving. So I need to pull the cluster back out and readjust that. I noticed that yesterday when we were driving it. But here it is at idle. Can't hardly hear it. You can hear it over stock, and I absolutely love this. Has MagnaFlow Magnapacks on it. I kept them from the other car. There's the back seat. Don't mind the dirt. I really haven't had any time to let it go through this thing and actually clean it up. So all my lights and stuff work. She settles right down. This is a cold start that hasn't been ran today, so I'm hoping my cooling system will burp once or twice more so I can get all the air out of it. So she runs strong. Really, really happy with this project. I had a comment come up recently, and it said, why did you waste your time doing the 4.6 swap? And they said, well, why don't you just get a GT? Well, the thing is, this car started off as a V6 3.8. It's 2001. It's an automatic transmission, and this is my first car. So this being my first car, there's no way in hell that I'm going to get rid of it if the body's this good. You know, I spent countless hours doing research on this thing for the V8 swap. You know, so the whole time I was doing research, I'd sit there and wonder to myself, do I have the skills to actually do this project? Well, here you go. Now I'm about 98% done with this project, and aside from paint, I am going to end up painting this thing dark shadow gray. I think it'll work really well with the black interior and the blue under the hood. It won't look too mismatched. But if I had listened to people that told me to take the easy route and just go buy a GT, you know, I wouldn't have the satisfaction. I took apart 2 whole cars. Okay, I have parts literally laying everywhere. There's actually parts laying right in here. I got, you know, countless hours of work into this thing, and I did 95% of the work on this car for this swap by myself. So this is my proof. You know, I am by no means a professional in any way, but I don't claim to be. But if you want to do this, a swap like this, do it. You know, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, or don't let anybody talk you out of doing it. If you want to do it, go out there and you do it. You know, this is my proof. I took apart 2 whole cars, used parts from both to put back together to make one car. This has the GT rear end in it. This has all the wiring from the GT. Well, most of the wiring. Actually, let me, if you are going to do this swap, let me throw this in here real quick. The wiring from here to here, where the dash comes in, you can reuse for V6 or GT. The only thing that requires a wiring swap is the main harness that fits under here. It wraps around and connects right over there underneath the cold air intake. And then it runs through the fender back to the dash to the computer. So the only thing on this thing that required wiring was the dash forward. Everything else is plug and play. My car, I'll actually show you. I have a bunch of parts in here. But you can see these seats. These are not power seats. Okay? Power seat wire for this power seat was actually on my stock harness. for the interior of the car. All I had to do was pull the carpet up, pull the plug through the carpet, and plug it in. Everything worked great. Yeah, so, you know, I got wiring and stuff. All of this up front is all GT. I did have to swap out the V6 front spindles because the GT has the traction control sensors and all that other jazz and crap on it. So I wasn't too worried about it. I did end up having to swap those out just so I could get all of the factory crap to work. The GT rear end has the same sensors back here, and they actually hook up underneath the rear seat. All you got to do is pop the rear seat out. So yeah, if you want to do it, do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. I do have a little rocking back here. You see all this crap here, it's got to get painted, but if you watch the original video when I first picked up the red car, that was my donor car, this whole section here had been smashed into a telephone pole. It looked like he spun out and hit the telephone pole. So I actually, you can see where that tip sits and that tip sits. You can't hardly see it. So I actually need to cut it in behind the wheel there and pull it forward enough to match up with this side. Yes, I know this is a V6 rear bumper. I don't really care at this point. I have so much freaking time into this. If I want to upgrade it later, I will. But a V6 bumper, it really isn't going to hurt much for me. They do sit a little bit. These tips actually sit really close. You can see that there. But I'm not sure how I want to handle that. We drove it yesterday for a little while, had some issues that we had to come back and fix, but the whole time we were driving it, they never got hot or melted my plastic bumper, so I'm not too worried about that either. But I'm gonna set the phone up here and go through the revs now that it's starting to warm up a little bit here. Oh shit. Alright. Rock and roll. That's the highest I've revved it up so far since I've done the swap. That was about 5,000 RPM. So everything's factory. I can't really go up any higher. This does have the factory H-pipe on it, MagnaFlow Magnapacks. I still got to put my MagnaFlow sticker on the back window because I think these Magnapacks are absolutely freaking gorgeous. My taillights are actually darkened. I tinted those when it was still a V6. I used VHT nightshades. I have 3 coats on them, and that's how they are with 3 coats of VHT on them. I don't think I have anything else to go through with this video, but just a little quick update for anybody that was curious in how this thing was coming and how it sounded. So now you can see it up there with the front end all put back together. My sexy black interior. Everything in here is black. The only thing I still have to swap is the headliner. It's still the gray headliner, but I'll be doing that when I get some warmer weather. I'm not too worried about it right now. So yeah, you can see the green in the gauges there a little bit better now. There they are with no tint. They don't look actually that bad, to be honest with you. But that center panel with the green tint I actually have the other one that came out of the other dash. And this one, I took the film out on. So this one will be clear just like the rest of it. I don't think I have... Oh, here's them little rubber stops that I was telling you about for the hood. These are what I took out and replaced with the hood fence. So, there's my update. So, have a good